Hey everybody, this is Brentley. This is my first video that I'm ever making and putting on YouTube, so please bear with me. This video is about my experience thus far with enlisting in the Navy. February 19th, the day after President's Day of this year, 2013, I walked into a recruiter's office and met with the recruiter, and I actually took my pre-ASVAB test. I had already sold myself on joining the Navy, so my recruiter really didn't have to sell me anything, which I would say they shouldn't have to sell you to join any branch of the military. Like, you should have done your research already, because it's not like you're buying a car. This is your life. So I took my pre-ASVAB on the 19th of February, and I got a 56, and the average was 50, and to pass you need a 35. So he wanted me to take the real ASVAB 2 days later, and luckily I was off work and I was able to, so I studied for 2 days. I only went to the library, got 3 books, and it was like on arithmetic and math and some I think it was some of like the word knowledge type stuff, even though like I didn't really need help in that area. I just want to brush up. But the arithmetic and the math, I definitely needed help because that's not my forte. So studied for 2 days, went with him to the MEP Center in Miami, and I got a 78. Not bad. Second tier, I believe. The only thing was that I had to come back the second day because when I was trying to pick my job, the computer system crashed, like crashed all over the country, because everybody at that time, it was probably like 2:30, everyone in the country at their MEP center was trying to pick their job. My MEPS experience, it was cool. I mean, it was really early in the morning. I didn't spend the night. A lot of people spend the night overnight, and I mean, there's waiting, but because you get to talk in certain areas with the other recruits from all the other different branches, I think my time went by a lot quicker. Let's see. Nothing really scary happens. Like, I've heard all kinds of horror, or I've read all kinds of horror stories on the internet, and nothing crazy like that happened with me or anybody else I knew. The drawing of the blood was okay, and you know, get your blood pressure taken, whatever. I liked it. I'd do it again, except maybe not as early. So that day, yeah, the next day, I got assigned my job. My first choice was mass communication specialist, and I wasn't able to get that because it was all taken up. But I did get aviation maintenance administration at AZ, and I'm really excited about that because I wanted something that was gonna pertain to writing. Like, I'm not the manual labor type at all. And so I'm really excited about my job. Hopefully I'll get to be on a carrier. AZ spend 50% of the time either on the fleet or ashore. So about 3 days ago, I had my first DEP meeting, because the day that I swore in, when I went back to my recruiting office, they were having a DEP meeting that day, but I had such a long day that my recruiter was like, don't even worry about it. Just go home and we'll see you at the next one. So a couple of days was my first DEP meeting. So I'm racking my brains with trying to study the START guide because I had been slipping a little bit. And I got a few things down, like, Sailor's Creed, Mission of the Navy, RTC Maxim, phonetic alphabet, military time, stuff like that. And we get there, and it's like, everybody, we're having a potluck, so bring your dish. I got that text like a day before, 2 days before. So it's like, oh, okay, cool, potluck. So I get there, and we start doing like all of the different maneuvers, like about face, right face, all that stuff. And I had read over that, but I hadn't actually done any of it. And so all the people whose first time it was being at the DEP meeting, we got to go to the back and look first, and then we kind of joined in. Then they set up these stations with cones. Now, the parking lot that we were in behind our MEP center, it's like It's not a parking lot. It's a little cement strip that cars can go park in, and I mean it's enough room for human beings because there's enough room for cars to park there, but it's not that huge. So when they set up the cones, I'm like, okay, this shouldn't be too bad. So each cone represented a station: sit ups, push ups, jumping jacks, crunches slash sit ups, whatever, lunges. So we would do one of those stations for a full minute, and then we would run around the cones. And I wish I could approximate how many feet. Probably, maybe just like, let's say it's like 35, 40 feet. So we're running a circle around, and then we get to the next station. We do the next exercise. Then we run around, and then we do the next, and then we run around. Let's just put it this way. I had no idea just how out of shape I was. So my advice to you would be to get your cardio in before you go to your DEP meeting so that you're not the weak link. Because her, the weak link. And I had to go sit down in the office while I was drinking some water. I've never felt like I had asthma before. For those of you who have asthma, I totally feel I can relate to you now. More than anything though, like, I was like, you should have saw my face when I was out there. I was like, this is so, I don't know that I was embarrassed. I was just mad at myself because like everybody I was talking to, they were like, yeah, that was me at one point too, because I mean, you don't really, most people I feel like don't really push themselves when they're working out like that much, like, but to have like your recruiters making you do this stuff, like, yeah, it's a lot different. But areas I for sure will be working on are core strength and my arm strength. There's push-ups, honey, 3 consecutive, like 3 good ones, like breaking 90, and then I stopped. And then I did 2 individually, and then the minute was over. So yeah, that goes to show you. I'm really excited though about the whole experience. Like, the reason why I decided to join the Navy was because, well, first it was like my parents, they were really getting on my nerves. I'm 23, I'll be 24 this year. I'll be 24 3 days into boot camp, and they say don't tell anybody that while you're at boot camp because you'll get more intensive training. So that's a secret. Yeah, but the reason why I joined was like my parents, they were starting to get on my nerves, and I had moved down here down to Miami from Gainesville, Florida, where I was at school at, because school wasn't really like my thing anymore. Like, I always knew I was intelligent and I want to use my intelligence, and I'm not using it being a cashier at Whole Foods Market. But I love people, and so it's like, well, what can I do to combine servicing people, meeting new people, getting out of my parents' house, getting paid, etc., etc. I went down a list, and I was like, well, the military. And I was always one of those people who was like, I ain't going to no damn military. Like, no, that was not me. Like, I was a South Beacher, VIPer. It wasn't nothing. It was the military, let's put it that way. But I researched for like a month or so, and I made the decision because I'm like, okay, I'm young, I don't have any kids, I don't have a boyfriend, I got a ring on it. So I'm like, well, let me just do this. It's for me. Like, one life to live, might as well live it. You get to see the world, you get to experience new things. Yeah, I mean, you're still learning too. That was my main thing. I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm not learning, like, ever at any point. Like, I like to think of myself as academic, but I just wasn't feeling school anymore, even though go Gators, orange and blue. Yeah, so that was my main purpose. My mom, she was kind of shocked because my best friend, like, everything my best friend does, I do pretty much, even though, like, when I went to school in Gainesville, I got into UF and her sister was in there, but she went to school at a college up there, just not the same school as me, but like we lived together and just all kinds of awesome stuff, and that I don't regret. Like I would do my life over the same way thus far if I had to. My dad, he's happy because he sees my happiness in it. At first I think he was a little like, girl, you ain't going nowhere, or like he was a little maybe worried because I'm the baby and I'm the girl, like I'm the only girl. So that was a bit of a shock for him. um but they both see that I'm really excited about it. All I do is talk about it. If you can, like once you get your ship date, look on Facebook to see if there's any, if there's a Facebook group for whatever month you're in, like the Deppers. That's what you're called, a Depper, because you're in the Depp program. And like I'm in the June Deppers group on Facebook, and it's really cool because like, you know, you try to talk to people like your friends and stuff about it, and they're listening, but it's like they don't really fully grasp, I guess, like I don't want to say the concept of it, but like all the feelings that you're going through. Like these people that are on Facebook in the groups, like they understand it, like they get it, like they know what you're talking about when you're saying like your rate in just different terms and stuff like that. And they don't mind talking to you about it like all the time because these people are all over the United States, so the time differences are they're different. But I've met like really cool people. You meet people who are going to be there at the same time as you at boot camp and everything like that, and it's really nice to, you know, be able to relate to someone. So let me see, I have a list of things I was supposed to talk about. Oh, my job. I think I said what it was. I'm not sure that I explained it. So AZ, aviation maintenance, aviation maintenance administration. So basically anything pertaining to the aircraft carriers, like scheduling their checkups, their, I don't know, if it goes on paper and it's about the planes, that's what I'm doing. I'm writing the papers. And like I said before, I am excited about that. I want a pair of aviator shades while I'm in the office. I'm just gonna have those on. And oh, I have to make another video about what I've been hearing about boot camp. Ooh, part 2 coming soon to a YouTube near you. Thanks for listening, guys. Again, my name is Brantley. It's like Bentley with an R. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold too. It's not cute. But thanks for watching. I hope I helped you a little bit, and leave any questions or comments and just let me know like if I can improve on anything, or if there's anything you want me to go more in depth with, or I don't know. Have a good Sunday.